Howdy, and welcome to the Lost Rider podcast. It's an honor and privilege to address you in the capacity of an interviewer, reporter, and media member. Too many modern media outlets have forgone the integrity and responsibility required of credible information sources. What you will receive here are straightforward discussions with legislators, agency leaders, biologists, engineers, doctors, and countless other experts that have the answers to questions often circulated as kitchen table issues. The title Lost Rider may be thought of literally as well as in the metaphorical sense. While there has been the instance that I was momentarily a little turned around at night in a wilderness area, the idea of being a lost rider in life, well, that fits most folks at some time. These renderings are coming to you in the form of the 25-year-old radio program, The News from the Camp House. It still airs every Saturday morning at 6:30 a.m. Central Time on KULM 98.3 FM out of Columbus, Texas. The original intent was to relate outdoor topics to the general public. Immediately, it was found that all issues are relatable to the outdoors and that people are people. They all play a role and they all have a vested interest. It's this program's desire to answer common questions about how the world works, how it will operate in the future, and what's the holdup. So please listen, enjoy, and never hesitate to contact us with more questions and feedback. Good morning and welcome to this weekend's edition of News from the Camp House, listening and posted to the Texas Sportsman Association. This is Herman Brune. This weekend's edition is also brought to us by Shaw's Bend Social Club, country club for folks who don't have a country club. All right, tell you what, here this weekend, got a special guest. Kind of sort of a local guy as far as this program's concerned. Young man from El Campo. Yes. All right. Chad, all right, let me pronounce it correctly. Waligura.
You got it.
All right, Chad, introduce yourself to my listeners. Now I'll tell you, I'm going to tell them what you had asked me. First question you ever asked me. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Chad Waligura. I've got a show called Able Outdoors now, and I'm from El Campo, Texas. I was born in Bryan College Station, so lived there for a few years and got imprinted there. But I'm back in El Campo. I've been there for most of my life.
All right, and we came out to this podcast summit, and Chad was here, and he was looking at the list of who all was going to be here, and saw my name, and first thing when he saw me, he goes, okay, whether or not I knew Kenneth Brune. And I go, well, yeah, I believe everybody knew Uncle Kenneth. I said, so yes, sir. So we kind of old homeschool week, and then Larry Wyson showed up, and we just had the whole place full of kinfolks. But all right, so Able Outdoors, would you please, okay, tell my listeners a little bit more of your story and what Able Outdoors is all about.
Well, my story's I tell people it's the uninteresting part. So I got injured. I got a spinal cord injury. Broke my neck diving into a pool way back in 1986. So I was 17 and I was a big outdoorsman before I got hurt, and that was the one thing I was not going to give up. When I got hurt, that was the one thing I wanted to do. Didn't know how. Had no idea how we were going to do it. So, long story short, I postponed my senior year of high school so we could figure it out. So my dad and I got back in the woods, failed a lot out there, which really got the invention process going. It really does. I get excited now when I fail at something because I know the ideas are going to flow and we're going to figure it out eventually. So the year after that, we had a lot of success. I built a lot of adaptive equipment for myself because the internet was just a baby. There was no information anywhere on what to do or how to do it when it came to hunting and fishing with a disability. So that brought me way along. You know, I started mentoring people at the hospital that were coming in after me, and they were wanting to know about outdoor stuff. And the PTs and OTs and nurses there, they knew me, and they would call me and say, you know what, we don't know anything about it. Can you come see these people? I was like, yeah, sure. So that started a whole mentor program. I don't know if I started it, but I was there doing it before they actually started one.
All right, wait a minute. Let's tell my listeners exactly what shape you're in.
I'm a C7 quad, which there's 7 vertebrae in your neck, and the 7th is the lowest, which is, it means I've got very lucky, because it means I have triceps. It means I have strong arms and shoulders. So as you go up the rung, like C6, C5, C4, you lose ability, and you lose strength. You lose your triceps. You lose just muscle strength in your arms. So it makes life infinitely more difficult. So that's where I am.
All right, so you've got use of your hands and your shoulders, your arms, all that. You're just in a wheelchair.
Yes, sir. But I don't have any grip. So anytime you break your neck, you usually lose your ability to grip things.
Okay.
So that's one of the obstacles on figuring out how to do things, especially hunt and fish, because you got to pull the trigger, you got to be able to reel, cast, stuff like that.
Your arms, shoulders, that kind of stuff works. Your hands quick. I'm trying to imagine how people listen to this, and imagine that you can lift your arms, you can kind of pick stuff up, but you really don't have any power in your hands.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's all quads. If you want to know the difference between a quad and a para, you look at their hands. If their hands are normal, they're usually a para, which means you broke your back.
Okay. All right. Okay. Go ahead. Go on with your story.
So that just got me into wanting to help other people that went through the same thing I did, and we started helping people get the right equipment they needed, and then started taking them out hunting. We do a group teal hunt every year in Garwood, Texas. Been doing it for 25 years just to get people out and get them started. I like to give them the tools and kick them out of the nest.
All right. Well, you said give them the tools they need, give them the equipment they need. Is this some of the stuff you fabricated?
Yes, sir. We make chest straps for them, trigger pullers. People that have less ability, we have a rig called a zero gravity rig that takes the weight of the gun away, so it's easier for them to swing. That's a cool device that we use. Just whatever they need, rifle rest, shotgun rest, if they're going to deer hunt or turkey hunt, we get them whatever they need. Sometimes it takes a year to, if you're a higher break, it's obviously more challenging. And you need more specialized equipment, but we get them there. We always get them there. If there's a will, there's a way. I promise you, and that's what we live by.
All right. So you've got a lot of this equipment is individualized. I'm assuming you kind of have to work with the individual and customize a lot of this equipment as you go.
Absolutely, and that I was blessed to be able to go on other group hunts in other states when I was newly injured, and I learned a lot from other people that showed up. I steal some of their ideas,
sure,
and I give people some of my ideas, and I steal some of theirs, and I learned a lot about what people are doing in other states, because now people find me and they live, say, like in Georgia, so I know who to hook them up with there. I help. I'm like, okay, this is what you're going to need. This is how you're going to get it. And this is who you're going to hook up with over there. Go hunt or go, because not everybody can come to Texas to hunt with me.
Okay.
I mean, I would take them, but they need to go there and get started there. Sometimes they can't make it over here. Right.
So, start where they live. Yeah.
That led to Able Outdoors. I mean, I started outdoor writing, and then we did a magazine for a couple of years, and I've always wanted to do a show, because just the reach, you can reach more people obviously now. It's one of the best things about social media is I can reach people all over the country and help them get back out, and people find me too. So I look for people and they find me too. So that's what Able Outdoors is. We shoot videos of, it's kind of like a regular hunting show. You saw it.
Yeah.
And we tell other people's stories because there's so many different types of disabilities.
All right. Okay. All right. You're into the whole social media world.
Yes, sir. I had to. I hated English, hated it growing up. But when I had to build my own site, my website, and write the stupid HTML code, copy and paste it, I got into writing stories about outdoor stuff that I was doing and other people who were doing cool stuff that I was like, their story needs to be told. So that sucked me into writing, and eventually video's a lot easier, obviously, doing podcasts, doing interviews. That's where everything's going now. It's going to streaming, it's going to vlogs, podcasts, YouTube. That's just where everything's headed.
Well, part of it is too that you can get audiobooks. So
Yes.
they're still writing, but then it gets translated into audiobooks, and people don't have to sit down with a book and just read it. They can drive down the road and listen to an audio.
That's right. Pretty soon it won't be any of that. It's just going to be people talking. It's just going to be all documentaries.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I can't disagree with you. I mean, I hope, me being a writer, starting out as a writer, doing everything like that, I still look at writing as a tool. It's also, to me, an art form. So I look at the great writers, and I'm like, Jack O'Connor brought us here, Elmer Keith, before that is Robert Ruick,
Yes.
And then before that it was Melville and Jack London, and hell, to that extent, Ernest Hemingway. And it was, the great writers that brought us to the point we're at. We're making it easier, with the podcast and the film and all that stuff, to get the how to, where to, when to, what to do. And we're that part of it easier. Some of the message is still, kind of delivered by, that's when everybody kind of turns into an artist.
For sure. And I guess you could say our art is, my expertise is adaptive equipment, is evaluating somebody and figuring out what they're going to need to be able to do whatever they want. Not everybody just wants to shoot. Some people want to, say, fly fishing. It's something really challenging, or, bow hunting it's a little more challenging. You kind of use the same tools. It's just, I can get them. I'm very lucky now, because I tell people, they're like, how do you know all this? How do you know somebody? I was like, I've been hurt for 40 years. That's how. That's how I got all this experience and knowledge, and that's how I know what you're going to need to be. I'm blessed. I can say, okay, I can help you.
Yeah.
We'll get there. And sometimes all they need is hope, that hope. Like, okay, I believe you, if you've done it, I'll be able to do it.
There you go.
That's a big deal.
Tell you what, let's take a quick break. Thank the folks. Let us come on here every Saturday morning. We'll be right back. Thank goodness for all the great sponsors we have here at News from the Camp House. H-E-B Food Stores. That's Stephen Tice at H-E-B. He helps me. He helps the community. He's a great man. I'm so thankful H-E-B loosened him up, lets him go around and sponsor a few things. H-E-B's got all your food needs. It's the greatest food store we got here in Columbus. Thank goodness for H-E-B. First State Bank. You go over to the First State Bank, they'll take care of all your loans, all your deposits, your savings, anything you need. Bunch of great hometown people over there. You got Celia Tobias, John Pollock. Everybody over there is looking out for you. Miss Barbara Barta. It's a great bunch of folks at the First State Bank is also sponsoring News from the Camp House. First State Bank takes care of all my business. Baumgart Agency, Susan Baumgart at the Baumgart Agencies, her and Germania. She told me to plug Germania. Germania is an insurance that she likes everybody to know about. The Baumgart Agencies. Miss Susan and I are classmates, been classmates. She got me out of high school, sat right beside her, put us in alphabetical order where I could copy. And Susan Baumgart over at the Baumgart Agency, taking care of all your insurance needs. Lyco Realty Lyco Realty, one of the original sponsors of News from the Camp House. Lyco Realty, the oldest real estate company in the county, and for the last 3 years voted the favorite realtor in the county. Lyco Realty, that's Miss Kimberly Johnson. That's Crockett's granddaughter. More kinfolks and classmates and great people from Colorado County. People from Colorado County helping people from Colorado County. That's great. Oh, thank goodness for all these wonderful people come to me want to be sponsors for News from the Camp House. Good morning and welcome to the second half of this week's News from the Camp House. Sitting here this morning with Chad Waligura. He's created Able Outdoors, and I need to just shut up and let him tell his story because this is a great story this morning. Chad's quadriplegic?
Quadriplegic.
Okay, quadriplegic, but he has... And he said he's been this way for 40 years, but he has invented more ways to help people who have had accidents get back in the outdoors. And what about veterans and stuff? Do you have them come to you?
We have had some in the past. I don't turn anybody away, but now there's so many organizations out there strictly for wounded soldiers. They pretty much go within. I tell them, I'm like, look, you're gonna have way more opportunity with those guys because they're just more of them.
Okay.
You know, I deal more with spinal cord injury, but I don't turn anybody away. We had a blind guy come and duck hunt, and he was the second time we videoed. The first time I got an email out of the blue. And it was a guy from North Dakota, and he's like, I'm blind and I want to come duck hunting. I was like, man, I've been waiting for you for 20 years because I've been trying to figure out how in the world we would ever do that. And he goes, well, I'm the first blind guy to pass their concealed carry class. And I was like, okay, that's good. And he goes, I pheasant hunted because they fly straight and they're noisy. I was like, okay. I was like, well, duck's not going to be anything like that. But if you've done that, you come down here, I'll pick you up. I'll keep you with me. I'll have somebody with you all the time, and we'll figure it out. So he flew down. His name was Kerry McWilliams. He flew down, and we picked him up, and we just talked on the way home from the airport in Houston. I was like, okay, let's figure out how we're going to do this. So he kind of sat, and we put him on a bucket. And we put a friend of mine right behind him, and my buddy kind of had one hand on the shoulder and one hand here under his elbow on the right, and kind of used him like as a joystick. Told him what the ducks, where they were coming in, when to shoot, and he'd always get his money worth. He killed 4 ducks in the air, unbelievable. And I sat there and watched it, and I still couldn't tell you how it happened. I think it's divine intervention. But he loved it because it was duck hunting so noisy. He's like, you know, you're putting out the decoys. You can hear the ducks flying. My dogs running, working, the calling, even the mosquitoes buzzing. He loved every second of it. And I was like, you know what? I never thought about how noisy it is. I guess if I went blindfolded, they would stand out more. But I tried to pay more attention to that all the time after that, and just enjoy the noise of it, of the hunt.
I'll be darned. And the gentleman was all the way stone blind.
All the way blind. He got some kind of illness when he was a teenager, and he was all the way blind.
God, dog.
And he just called me all the time after that for just thanking me. You know, thanks for letting me come down. I was like, dude, you come down anytime you want. We'll do it again. So I met 8 years later. Met a guy. His name Dan Ferraro in Arizona, and he's blind too from an auto accident, and he was hunting like big game. And I was like, Dan, you want to come duck hunt? He goes, what? How in the world am I going to do that? I was like, don't worry about that. You want to come hunt? Come on, because I want to film a show with a blind guy. And we called him blind guy all the time. I was like, Dan, it's okay if I just call you the blind guy all the time? He's like, yeah, that's fine. So he came in, and he was wanting to shoot a certain way with a dead rest, because he had a system set up where there was like a viewfinder on the sight on his shotgun, and you could see it on a cell phone. I was like, "Dan, that's not gonna work because it's not fast enough." So I was like, "You try it your way." He shot a couple of ducks off the water. My cousin Chance was actually his guide, and the next day I was like, "Chance, let's do it the way we know is gonna work." And so Chance kind of did this same method as we used with Carrie, and he killed one duck in the air right at the end. I was like, that's all we need for video. It was super cool. It made the whole show. And same way Dan was like, kept thanking me, thanks for bringing me out and introducing me to that. I was like, Dan, stop calling. And it's great. I loved having you. Stop calling me and thanking me. We'll do it again. But an incredible story. It's just, I love to take on the impossible challenge now.
Well, no, that's good. And I mean, you know, everybody else thinks about how, you get tuned in, you hear something, and how well a person that can't see, when you hear something, it's kind of like, I guess, similar to a dog when we hunted elk and would call them in, and they would just walk right straight to whoever was calling.
Right.
You know, and they could hear, and they could hear so well that they knew exactly the spot where it was. Now try to think about a person being able to tune in on one spot like that and be able to shoot something and they can't see. Well, that's just, you know, boy, that person has to really sit around and think about that.
But there's no reason they can't get out there and be a part of the outdoors and be a hunter and fisherman. Just like, I think that's one of the biggest areas of opportunity where, like the blind community, they have no idea what's possible. They probably never even given it too much thought. They're like, how in the world am I going to shoot shotgun? You know?
Yeah.
A friend of mine, we first took Carrie out. She's like, well, and I told her we were going to take a blind guy hunting. She goes, well, what are you going to do? Just stand him on the levee and yell, shoot? I was like, well, that's funny. No, we're not going to do it that way.
I'll be darned. All right. Okay. All right. Now, where can people see this stuff?
So I put it on Facebook. We have a Able Outdoors Facebook page, and my personal page. I always post our latest videos, but now we're on we have a YouTube channel, Able Outdoors, and this past fall we got on Carbon TV, which is just like Netflix for hunting shows and podcasts. A lot of people are coming off mainstream TV and getting on Carbon TV because it's a lot cheaper to run your show on, and you still get the same following and same sponsors, same advertising money, so you get to do more.
Okay.
And you don't have to raise as much money to be on, like, say, the Outdoor Channel or Pursuit Channel. I mean, I want to be there someday just for a little while and then come back off, and just to increase my following, let people know we're out there. Okay. But you can find us on Carbon TV. It's a free app. It's free to get on any smart TV. You just search for Carbon TV, and then once you get it, you search for Able Outdoors on Carbon TV. So we just put up season 2, episode 1, and we have 6 from last year that people can go find. Some really cool shows on there. Hope we can keep doing them for 5 to 10 more years till I get too old to be in front of the camera, and I got to get behind it.
Shoot. All right. So, okay. No. Okay. You said you've been hurt for 40 years. And you got hurt when you were about 16?
17.
17? Yes, okay, so you're about 57?
56.
56.
It's going to be 39 years. I rounded up.
All right, okay. All right. Well, I'm just trying to get some perspective. So, all right. And you welcomed all it. See, I'm older, and I refuse to learn some of this stuff. And you see that in a lot of even some of your major companies. You know, they when all the social media stuff came along, and they started hiring young people to manage that for them because the older guys didn't want to mess with it. And it has become so much more essential to these businesses now that, you know, even the older guys are paying more attention to it, but they still got to pay somebody else to do it. But you got a pretty good handle on it.
You have to do it. I mean, I'm lucky I have one good camera guy, and he also does the production, and he knows his stuff, so I can just kind of I don't micromanage him. I was like, you just do it the way you want to do it, and I'll throw a couple suggestions at you, and we throw some cool ideas around, and I like to let him go. I like to let the show take on a life of its own. That's the way it should be.
All right.
You know.
Okay. And now, in the beginning, and your dad and different ones kind of helped you with some of this?
Definitely. I was very lucky. I had some good friends and really good family. You need a good support system to survive it. And I make it bigger. I still make it bigger now. I meet new people and I bring them on board and you never stop making new friends, because I'm always going to need help out there most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the outdoor stuff is social stuff anyway. It's fun to do it with friends and family.
All right. Okay. Well, and this event that we're at right now with this podcasting thing, God, there's people here from all over the United States, and we all watched the documentaries last night and saw some of this stuff. And kind of got everybody worked up. Inspiring. That's what it is. It's inspiring. And I think it's essential, absolutely essential, that it took somebody with this experience to start helping everybody else that has been hurt.
Well, I'm glad you said that word, because I hear it a lot. Inspiration, inspiring, and let me tell everybody out there it's great to hear. I love to hear it, but it doesn't it doesn't affect me at all. If you're inspired, the only way it means something is if you do something about it. Even if it's just to change your perspective on something, or if you actually did something like, okay, I was inspired by you, and this is what I did about it.
There you go.
That means a lot more. That's where the rubber hits the road when it comes to inspiration. So it's good to tell somebody, you're inspiring, but do something about it. Let it affect. If it affects you, change something. Change the way you think about something. Change, actually go out and help somebody or do something about it. That's my thoughts on inspiration.
That's the point. That's the point. Chad, thanks for being with us this morning.
Enjoyed it, loved it. We'll do it again, I hope.
Oh, you bet. You bet. This is too good. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this morning's edition of News from Camp House, found it interesting, and learned something. So, thank Chad for being with us this morning. Guys, this weekend's edition is also brought to us by the Shaw's Bend Social Club, country club folks who don't have a country club. Now, everybody go out, enjoy the weekend, have a big weekend, have a lot of fun, be safe, and y'all just remember, pretty much any day is sure a good day to be out in the woods.